All right, everyone, welcome to Stretch with the Leader. We are at 9 o'clock. I'm excited to introduce Lance Bradshaw, our leader for today. He'll share a little bit about what he does with Intermountain and then his Be Well moment. So Lance, I'll turn it over to you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate it. And looks like a good sized group on this morning. I know with summer, sometimes lots of people are out of the office, but it looks like people are prioritizing their Be Well health this morning. So that's great to see. I have two slides that I'm going to run through. I try to be very concise in this. I read a book a few years ago called Death by PowerPoint. So I've always been mindful of that to not bore people too much. But just a couple of thoughts as I was invited to share this moment this morning. So, for me, I think it sometimes can be challenging focusing on all of these areas, all these dimensions of overall well-being and health. So for me, sometimes depending on life circumstances or experiences, different areas tend to kind of be pushed to the forefront in areas that I need to focus on. But as I was kind of thinking about my current situation and things that I'm focusing on now, I actually chose to focus a little bit on the education piece, and a couple reasons for this. So first of all, I'm in HR, so I work on a team called Workforce Transformation. So this is a lot of what we focus on, trying to help educate our workforce. I'm in an area that looks at how do we adopt cutting edge technology and AI and some of the exciting things that are happening in the HR space. But education is much more than that, right? It's not just technology and all the exciting things that are happening with AI, but there's formal education programs, things that you can go through if you're want to go back to school. Intermountain provides so many opportunities for us to explore that, whether for ourselves or a spouse or family members to take advantage of that. But there's also a lot of informal education, right? That doesn't need to be in a classroom or getting a degree. There can be lots of opportunities that Intermountain provides, but that we can seek out ourselves, right? Through different mentorship programs. Udemy is a great, I love Udemy. If you haven't explored that, there's thousands of courses that are available to us as Intermountain caregivers and great opportunities to learn, and not just specific to your role or the job that you do. There are so many things. You can become, a beekeeper or explore gardening. There's lots of exciting things on there. And then just overall, general life lessons with all the experiences we have. But I wanted to share just briefly a personal experience, and actually call this "Run Toward the Roar." And let me kind of explain this just a little bit. So this is kind of the approach that I take when I'm thinking about learning and personal growth. So in the wild, when lions hunt, the male lion will position himself out in the open and let out this massive roar. The terrified prey instinctively run away from the sound. But the twist is that the real danger is actually waiting in the other direction, where the lionesses are hidden and ready to pounce. So if the animals actually ran toward the roar, they'd typically have a better chance of escaping. So I've found, for me personally, that lesson is true in my life, especially when it comes to education or personal growth. When I was in my early 30s, I went back to school to earn a dual master's degree. It was scary. I had a career, a family, and plenty of reasons to stay comfortable. But I knew I needed to push myself and step outside my comfort zone. And so just this year, now I'm in my 40s, I started a doctorate program in education and healthcare leadership. And once again, I felt that familiar fear and self-doubt, but I ran toward the roar anyway. So whether it's going back to school, taking a new class, or even just picking up a new skill like learning to be a beekeeper, real growth always happens just beyond what's familiar. So when something scares you, especially when it comes to learning, that might be your sign to run toward the roar, and that's usually where you will find your greatest growth. So wanted to share that personal experience with you and encourage you to continue to stretch yourself. And speaking of stretching, I'll turn it back over to you, Melissa, to lead our stretch session.
Thanks so much for that reminder, Lance. I am a firm believer of just getting right outside of your comfort zone. Really just escaping that fear component, because I feel like that often holds us back. So thanks for your Be Well moment. That was awesome. And also the reminders of the different resources that are available to us as Intermountain caregivers too. All right, everyone, we're going to get on our feet and do some stretching. So make your way there if you're not already. And thank you again, Lance. I love the roar. That's awesome to even just reflect back on. All right, so good morning, happy Tuesday. Let's plant our feet underneath our hips or a little wider if that feels comfortable to you. I like to just always check in with how we're feeling. Little scan down from head to toe. Roll those shoulders up, down, and back a couple of times, maybe a couple forward, whatever your body is calling out. If you've joined me in other stretch classes, make sure you listen to your body. No pains or strains. Left arm up and over. Let's take a lateral side stretch. Keep that gaze nice and comfortable for your neck. And lift a little taller as you cross through the center. Take that gaze up slightly and let's come over to the left. Right hand high, left fingertips walking down towards that left knee. Again, just a nice stretch. Take the arms overhead, goalpost, open your chest, shine your heart, look up, maybe smile. Relax through your face a little bit more, and then take those hands up, big stretch. Let's hinge from our hips and just fold the torso in half. So bring your hands to the top of your thighs. Belly is drawing in just to protect the spine. And bend the knees generously as you shoot your hips back a little bit. So little hamstring release. We're going to do a little cat and cow on our feet. So dropping the belly, opening the chest, that's your breath in. With the exhale, start to round through the back. Draw the chin in towards the chest. Do one more with me. Inhale, open, and then exhale, round it out. Roll back up, one vertebrae at a time, restack, let the crown of the head lift last. Sweep your arms. And great big exhale, drop it down. All right, we're going to stretch our neck while we're on our feet. So relax your shoulders, take that gaze out over to your right. Let your shoulders just soften. That mindful release, drop the chin in towards the chest, come over to the left. Couple half circles here, coming back over to the right, coming all the way back up through center. Take that inhale. Let's come from left to right a couple of times. And just notice if you need to linger in a particular spot, please do. Just stretching out to where it feels nice this morning. Inhale at the top, and let's reverse the direction right to left. Try to move through a little bit of everything this morning with our time together. And then bring it back around to the top. Arms are going to come back overhead, big stretch. We're going to interlace the fingers and rotate the palms towards the ceiling. So gaze can go up just slightly. Bring those shoulders up and then relax them down away from your ears. Release that grip and then reach for the left wrist, gently pull to your right. Let's get a little bit more of that side body stretch. Up, right to left. Always feels so good. Let's bring it back up nice and tall. Take your arms out to a T and bring the left arm across the front of the body. Just stretching out the shoulder here. So we want to avoid any direct pressure to the elbow. Option to add a little fist fling here with the hands. Spread the fingers out and then create that fist. Little hand work, just small things we can incorporate throughout our day. All right, tee the arms back out, open the chest, right arm across. Even it out. Add that fist fling if that was helpful. Do a little wrist work here for a moment. Take another breath here on this right side. And open your arms back up. Quick hug for you, little I love me squeeze. Feel the back expand as you take a breath in through your nose against the hands. So breathe in, nice deep inhale. And great big exhale, let it go. One more time, inhale through your nose. Sigh it out if that feels good, or just in and out of the nostrils. And then back out with the arms, big reach overhead. Exhale, let the hands float down. All right, just that wrist work. We're going to take that left hand forward, palm towards the screen, and gently pull the fingertips towards you. Again, no pains or strains. Stretching through that forearm a little bit, releasing through your wrist. One more breath. And then let's switch hands over to that right side. Gently pull the fingertips in. One more breath. And then release. Shake it out a little bit, coming into the lower half. So take your feet about shoulder width. Let's shift into some hip circles, dropping over to the left, forward, right, and all the way back around. So this can be small or big, just depending on what you need. And maybe you're even noticing like, oh, I should just hang out there in that particular spot for a minute. Please do. Little connection with the core here, always just protecting our back. Spine stays nice and long. Lubricating a little bit here. Let's reverse. Take it back, right side, forward and around. Little hula dance, perhaps. One more. Take it all the way back around to the center. Now, next, we're going to open our hips a little bit. So we're going to work this right side. Toes are going to stay on the floor. You do have an option to float the foot up if you wish. Otherwise, let's start with the toes down. And we're just opening and closing on that hip a little bit, releasing little circles here if that feels good to you. Reverse the direction. And then we'll move into a little figure four. So if you do have a chair or your desk or a wall handy, let's use it so you're not worried about balance on that left side. Ankle to thigh here on the right. Hips are easing back. We're flexing our right toes into our shin just to protect our knee. And just sit back to where you feel that outer hip pocket on the right side. It's gentle, nothing crazy. Take another breath. This is also a great one you can do in the chair if that feels more comfortable as well. Sometimes that's just good to do throughout the day. All right, back up nice and tall. We're going to switch sides. So over to our left, we're going to open and close, toes stay down. You're always keeping a soft micro bend in the knee on that standing leg. Let's do those circles a few times. Reverse it. And then back into that figure four. I'm going to use my desk for a little support. Ankle to thigh here. Just avoiding any direct pressure onto your right knee. Hips are easing back into that imaginary chair. Back stays long. Check in with your breath. So good. Again, focus is on this outer left hip pocket. Take one more full breath. Let's gently release. When you're ready, come back up nice and tall. Right foot's going to stay in the front. We're going to drop the left foot back. So a wider stance with our feet for a small lunge. Just a little bit of a bent knee here. We don't want our knees coming out of our in front of our toes. Shift your hips forward. So focus here, that hip flexor on the left. Left arm comes up and over as an option, or just leave it down. So choose what feels good. Slight squeeze of that left glute. Relax your shoulders. Again, it's not a crazy bent knee on that right side. Take another full breath. And lower there. Step your left foot in and let's ease our hips back. So this right leg is going to lengthen. We're on the heel, we're flexing our toes and shifting the hips back. A little more hamstring focus on this right side. Just breathe. Keep it bent knee or bend it as much as you need on this right leg. Obviously the left is bent and use that support if you need it. Take another breath. I want it to just feel good, comfortable, relaxed. All right, we're switching our sides. The left foot's gonna come forward. We're on the ball of the right foot this time. So soft bent knee or bend it a little bit more. Shift your hips forward. Start to tune into that hip flexor here on the right. Right arm up and over, if that was helpful. Using that support or hand to hip. Keeping that gaze comfortable for your neck. Let's breathe. A couple of breaths here to even it out on each side. And then gently lower that right hand. Step your right foot forward. Let's ease our hips back. Straightening out through the left leg. Slight bent knee. Flex your toes. And just take some longer, deeper breaths here. Add a smile. I always like to remind all of us to smile. It sure makes us feel better. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. Back is long, abs are pulling in just to protect the back, ever so slight. And then come back forward to the sole of that left foot. Let's bring both of our feet back underneath our hips. One more little sun salutation. Bend your knees, scoop and sweep the arms. Take that gaze all the way up. Lateral side body stretch to the right. Feeling a little bit more release through the side body as you arc to the left. And then grow a little taller. Let's reach up. Exhale, float the hands down. Just a quick chest expansion before we part. So shrug those shoulders up, down and back. Reach the hands back. Take them to the small of the back or interlace fingers if that's accessible and feels good this morning. Object is to broaden through the collarbones. Bring the shoulder blades a little closer towards one another on the back and not force it. Take one more great big breath with me in through the nose and let it go. Big exhale. All right, everyone, shake that out one more time. Sweep the arms overhead, stretch it up. And great big exhale, let it go. All right. Thanks so much. Thank you again, Lance, for your time this morning. Always a pleasure. Great to hear about your Be Well moment as well. I'm Sharon.